All right, sorry, it's dark out nights and I'm on a walk considering things, but for cold-blooded, I have decided that I think I'm going to change the name to Less Than Human. Again, that is Less Than Human. This is of the idea that humans, they're always depicted as like the superior race, who even if they're underdogs, they find some way to win. And like almost always, when they're half human, half something, they are of the strongest of the species, whether human or the half human. You know, they just have some inherent, like humanity itself has some inherent factors. So the idea is that the kid who becomes captain, he is going to be called. He is going to be the one who Less Than Human refers to. And humanity is going to be, the idea is humanity it kind of has these genes that are easily bonded with, and they are kind of like amplifier genes. So if a race has strength, human strength can amplify. And this is going to play into the virus that takes over the zombies. It will amplify the ability for the virus that creates the zombies to be a fuel. But he is going to be of a race whose only ability is like mild shape-shifting, basically to a camouflaging extent, really. And so at one point he figures out that he is like a duke of the world, you know, like kind of royalty, but just barely. And one of his, like the leader of his house servants, or slaves, like the leading butler guy, exposits to him, "You're the liar of the weak, and you're royalty of the weak, and the lying, and the meek, and you're what was it? You're royalty of the liars, of the cheats, of the rats and the snakes and the buzzard. You, my friend, hardly you, my friend, will never be. You may never be king of them, but you are a liar and a cheat and a rat and a snake and a buzzard, picking off the scraps." But then he uses, by this time, the exosuit is broken and being repaired, and he grabs the guy, picks him up, and shows bolstered strength and speed and stuff like that. And he shows his ambition. I may be almost nothing to this planet of liars and cheats, but I will not be a rat or a snake nor a buzzard. I will be king. I will be king. I will be a lion. Something like that. Maybe a little cheesy, stupid, but it's really going for a more dramatic feel. This is just a really, really early, rough draft of the idea. But I do like the idea that he is less than human. I do like the name change. I do like the idea that he's low-level royalty, so he still has some claim to the crown, but he has to be underhanded about getting the crown himself. I And I like the idea of his exosuit breaking and his human genes kind of melding well with this weak species genes. I'm also going to have him be primarily that race. However, the captain, who was human, cultivated him throughout the about 13 years that the captain is alive, until he sacrifices himself to save the kid. And through this, as a part of this cultivation, the captain occasionally drew some of his own blood and sometimes like grafted his own skin onto him. And he was very subtle about it. And also the slave band that the kid wears is also repressing his shape-shifting abilities. And then there are also licenses for slave ownership, as well as being able to enforce slavery with explosives. And having a wrist explosive is cheaper than a neck explosive or heart or vital organs. So a maiming, there's tracking, injury, maiming, death, and generational, in increasing orders of expense and ownership value. Like tracking, there's also non-tracking. So non-tracking, of course, just shows ownership. Tracking allows you to more easily regain if the person runs away. Injury causes some mild injury. Maiming would be an explosive such as would permanently disfigure and may cause loss of limbs or brain function. Death is, of course, killing, and generational is kind of like a way of genetically, or it's a way of purchasing a family, or so a little bit of dark stuff, but I enjoy it. Hopefully I'll condense this on paper soon.